Council meetings are long and boring. Wouldn't it be great if they were short and unboring? This is why I've invented the 5-minute meeting. Alrighty. After City Council meeting of February 4th, the city administrator started saying we will have a census representative at the next meeting, and SOU will send census information to their students. And there was a special presentation announcing the retirement of the pro tem magistrate of the court, our Judge Barbara Jarvis. And this one said, she's worked for and started almost every organization in Ashland. And all the charities and all the groups and all the committees, she's done everything, and she invented it all. And then another judge stood up and said that she was great, and then she gave her $30 silver. And then Barb Jarvis thanked the staff and the attorneys, and then it was hard to hear what she was saying. And she said, we have the most professional and compassionate cops. Very nice. And then, the age-friendly communities presentation. A senior group wanted to join the AARP group, and the city has to prove that they are nice to old people, and then the city gets, I don't know what the city gets anyway. And so this one goes, what about the schools and young families from the AARP? And then this one said, I move to sign this request to join this AARP group. And that was all approved. I'm not sure why. And then the Transportation Commission had their annual report, and they said we listened to public input, and we worked on transit feasibility projects and bike map projects and downtown project and system plan, and they're looking at making a plan to move away from fossil fuel and looking at other SEEP issues. And then this one, how does the downtown revitalization plan fit into this? And the transport people said, we're going to wait for that and put it in our plan too. And then public forum. There's only one guy, a chin beard guy with a ponytail, and he said Ashland has sundown laws where it's illegal to be homeless after dark, and council's been passing regulations that have hurt the poor and the homeless. And then they went to the consent agenda, and they approved everything that was on there, whatever that was. And then, the capital financing bond. So the architects for the city hall came by, sat down there, and this is the $10 million bond proposal that's going on the ballot in April, maybe, and it's for fixing City Hall, Pioneer Hall, community center, some solar field, and the fountain in Lithia Park. And so they said that we've had town hall meetings recently, and lots of good points were brought up. And then the city lady said suggestions that the building is earthquake safe is wrong. The building is dangerous, and there's. And then she went on and on about everything they've talked about the last 2 years. And then this one goes, he goes, hey, some guy at the last meeting said, your firm doesn't have the experience with historical buildings. What do you architects have to say about that? And the architect said, well, we've done lots of historic stuff, but we can add an extra historic consultant if you want to. And then there's a lot of questions about what if this and what about that and maybe this and that, maybe that. And then this one goes, he goes, hey, why are you even going to the bond when we don't even know which building, what we are building right now? And the city said, everything's fine. That's the way this should go. And then this one goes, she says, there are so many unanswered questions, but how much money will we have to spend to answer the questions before we can vote on spending money? Well, it's an interesting conundrum. And then, and now the former mayor chimes in. She just pops in and says something about youth activity levy and something about Obama and Hillary. And vote and teachers and turnout in politics and jails and Republicans and Democrats going on. And then this guy goes, I said we knock down that city hall and start from scratch. And then public forum. Public forum, ready? This guy in a green jacket, he said we should demo that hall and then get a price for the city hall rebuild. And then this bald guy says, hey, you guys took money from one of the building funds and gave it to the general fund. That was $1.7 million a couple years ago. And you give that back and then boom, pay for Pioneer Hall and the community center. And then the Schirnberg guy again, he came and said he's against the bond because utility taxes are too much. And then a big mustache guy said, you're doing this all wrong. Renovations of City Hall is possible and cheaper, and it's pretty normally done. It's not a big deal. And the former mayor lady popped in again, and she just said something about taxes and PERS, and that the city needs to run a campaign. And then time starts to run out, so they paused. They paused this bond measure, and then they went to the approving the Trails Master Plan second reading, because this one said, she goes, I was concerned before, but I met with those trail people and everything seems fine. So that's approved. And then some Parks and Rec fee change ordinance. This guy goes, hey, this is a parks thing. Why are we voting on every single penny? And the city lady said, that's the rules. council has to vote on fees. And this one goes, we should change that. And then this guy goes, yeah, but let's just approve this right now and get this over with. All approved. And then, TOT, transient occupancy tax, the hotel tax. City wants to vote that those taxes go to the social services grant like it always has. It's $150,000 at stake here. And then this one goes, she goes, hey, normally we do that, give it to those social services, but this year we cut some fire department stuff and some other employees, so maybe we don't. Maybe we save some of that money for something else. And this guy goes, maybe not this year, but maybe next year. Let's look at that for next year. And this one goes, she goes, yeah, I agree with that. Let's still give it to the social service grants to get that. And then they all approved that. And then there was a second thing they approved, part of that, and they approved some ad hoc committee to figure that out with the hotel tax. And then a third thing they did was the public arts people get 3% of that hotel tax money, and they want 5% of that money. And then this guy goes, so who loses the 2%? And they said, the city went, there's a chunk for downtown beautification. They're like, oh yeah, okay, we'll vote for that. They voted yes. This one voted no though. And then back to the city hall bond discussion. They jumped back at architects, came back, and then this guy goes, what did he do? He says, I would like to apologize for people who have questioned your company in any way. It was very rude and terrible of them. And then the architects went, I don't know, whatever, seemed fine to me. I don't know what you're talking about. And so then basically the council wanted to know if they needed more specific numbers on how much it's going to cost and how many days it'll take to do each type of job. And the architects all go, look, we can look into more specifics, but you guys got to pick one. Full demo or half demo? What's the deal? And then the city attorney went berserk and said, we're going to get sued if there's an earthquake and any employee gets killed and the sky is falling and the sky is falling. He was out of his mind. And this one she said, hey, wait, we're working on this, so we're doing due diligence or something. And then this guy goes, aren't all the counselors suable as well? And then, of course, the attorney went, oh, probably, because the sky is falling. And then this guy goes, there he is. He goes, hey, attorney guy, if the sky is falling, why don't we just put all the city hall people in a new building tomorrow? If it's such a horrible thing. And he went, well, the city attorney guy goes, but, earthquake, And this guy goes, yeah, earthquake, I got it, earthquake. And then this one goes, and the architects all went, earthquake. And so they started losing their minds. And then this one says, I'm not so worried about this earthquake thing. What about this bond issue we were just talking about? And this guy goes, yeah. Don't we have insurance for that kind of earthquake stuff too? I mean, what's going on? And then, so the mayor puts an end to that part of the discussion. This guy goes, okay, let's go talk about the Pioneer Hall fix. And then this one goes, she says, can we separate this from the bond? It seems expensive for these buildings, that price, $500,000 a piece. And the city lady said, there's lots of reasons. Not specific, generic, Parks and Rec, blah, 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 something. And then this one goes, something about steps or something incoherent. And then they talk some more. And this one said, why isn't the sidewalk being fixed? But time is over. End of meeting. You're welcome.